What's happened here is he's used again the word moralist. And he connects right behavior with performance hamster wheel. How many of you like to think about being on a hamster wheel? You're like, this is really good. Right? So this is all getting lumped together with something negative. It's a negative, cartoonish description. You ever heard of when people say a straw man argument? You've heard it. Some people don't know what that means. So let me give you the picture of what that is. What that is say I disagree with David about something. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take David's argument and I'm going to take it to its absurdity. I'm not going to deal with what he actually believes. I'm going to make it into something that's close but ridiculous. I'm going to make it into a scarecrow that looks real, but it's not. It's not going to move. I've made this thing, and then I'm going to go and pound this straw man. And I will look like I just defeated him. Bam! He's got nothing. And everybody's like, wow, that was amazing. What he's doing is he's putting us in a place where we're having to make a decision between right behavior and relationship, as though it's one or the other, as though it's mutually exclusive. But I know that we don't focus on legalistic righteousness and right behavior as a means of righteousness, right? It's about a relationship with God that results in a desire to walk in obedience to God, to walk in right relationship with Him. But if I'm not paying close attention to the tactics at work here, there's an attempt to influence me to make a decision between two options. If I say there's such a thing as sinful behavior and I want to walk in righteous behavior, does that make me this cartoonish figure called a moralist? Can't I believe at the same time that sin has distorted God's image within me, affected me at the core of my being? That I am sinful and selfish and proud by nature, and that my sinful nature evidences itself, displays itself in sinful behavior? But to many of the readers, there's this sense that now it's an either or. He's led them to make this decision. Oh, it's not about what you do. It's not about right behavior. That puts you on the performance hamster wheel and blah, blah. He continues with a linguistic magic trick. Pick a card, any card. In the Greek, he tells us that hamartia is made of two words. Ha, meaning like un or not. It's the negative. And from meros, meaning form or origin. So it is basically, the fundamental meaning, he says, is negation of origin, negation of being, formlessness. Yes, he says, it is about missing the mark. But the mark's not perfect moral behavior. The mark is the truth of your being. And now here it comes. He says God is good all the time. Yes. He says it's about the one. He says he's a relational being. We say yes, but what's at the root of what he's saying? He says there's a truth about who you are. God's proclamation about a very good creation is the truest about you. The very good creation is the form or origin of you, the truth of who you are in your being. Now this sounds soaring. It sounds good. What are you telling me, Rabbi? Are you saying it's not true that I'm not his very good creation? Yes, we were very good and created in his image, but sin distorted that. But here's what he says. Sin then, so the truest thing about you is that you are God's very good creation. Sin then is anything that negates or diminishes or misrepresents the truth of who you are, no matter how pretty or ugly that is. Behavior becomes an authentic way of expressing the truth of your good creation or an effort to cover it up, performance behavior. See, if you're covering up the truth of who you are, that's performance behavior. Bad. The shame of what you think of yourself, worthless, and you're not worthless. Now, the straw man here is, the gospel doesn't tell us we're worthless. The gospel says that you're worth so much to God, that he loves you so much, loves me so much, that in our sin, in our brokenness, in our distortion of who God is, that he loved us enough to pay the ultimate price to redeem us. We're not, the gospel doesn't say you're worthless. The gospel says you are of incalculable worth. But the straw man says you're worthless, and that's not good. Bam, just knocked him out.